It's Friday, which means it's movie day. And, you know, I get my movie critic Van Connor on the show on a Friday. Normally, he would be on red carpets. He would be seeing premieres before everybody else. He'll come on and talk about them, but he can't do that at the moment, obviously. So instead, he's here to recommend some amazing things that, in some cases, we can stream and watch ourselves over the weekend. But we can't talk to him until I've played this. He knows it.
It never gets old, does it, Adam?
It will never get old, Van. This is your intro now, forever. 20th Century Fox fanfare, just for you, Van Connor.
Or vanfare in this case.
A vanfare. Oh, I like it. I like it. So, how are you keeping? You all right?
I can't complain. So, like you say, we've got films to watch at home. So, I've always got something to be getting on with. And I've got fine people like yourself to review said films for. So, it all balances out. Excellent.
Yeah. So, normally we do 3. So, what 3 have we got this week? Little tasty delights.
So, I'm going to start with the Artemis Fowl adaptation of the young adult novel series from, I think, like 20 years ago now. This has been directed for the screen by Sir Kenneth Branagh. So, Sir Ken, it seems, has adapted this as what can effectively be described as Jupiter Ascending for kids. It is the story of a 12-year-old boy, Artemis Fowl, played here by Badia Shaw, I believe his name is. Young Irish actor. First role, I believe he's the grandson of Robert Shaw, would you believe, from Jaws.
Oh.
Pelham 1, 2, 3. He has not inherited his grandfather's ability to act, I will say that up front. 12-year-old Artemis Fowl is a boy genius so smart that he doesn't have to bother trying out a second tone of voice or even gaining a personality, neither of which he needs when he has to protect the Earth from fairies. And I've got a clip for you.
Could your father have ever given you a clue as to where to start?
He never told me how to start. But he may have told me how to end.
End?
Yeah. He read the same poem to me every night before bed, and every time he left. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rains fall soft upon your fields.
Who wrote this poem, Artie?
Nobody knows. That's just it.
And how do you find it?
It's known as the Irish Blessing. It's a journal. It's Dad's journal.
I could tell with just your tone going into that you don't really think it's a great film. And I'm surprised. Judi Dench is in this as well, isn't she?
Yeah, Judi Dench is playing it like some sort of fairy Deirdre Barlow in a Green Goblin costume. It's frankly bizarre. Between this and Cats, I mean, her bank balance must be swollen because her creative soul definitely is not. And as far as the whole Irish lilt that they're banking on with this goes, the luck of the Irish is not on the side of this one. It is ghastly. If Josh Gad were not gurning a narration through it, you wouldn't know what was going on half the time. It has clearly been just hacked to the bone, smashed together, smashed apart, and then smashed back together once more, and then shunted onto Disney Plus. Because frankly, if it were in cinemas, it would be the worst blockbuster of the year, overtaking only Dolittle at this stage. It is abysmal.
Wow, we haven't had to play this in one of your reviews before. But it sounds like it's a big no today for that one. So, okay, well, interesting. Moving on. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the title of this one without sounding like you're trying to be cool.
You kind of have to. So it is Da 5 Bloods, and that is a recurring motif because the movie begins with a montage of historical events of the 1960s, and at one point shows Neil Armstrong on Da Moon. So it's a Spike Lee movie, so it's got a mean sense of humor, as you can imagine. Spike Lee has never shied away from expressing his sociological or political opinions. This is most definitely true to form, then. This is the story of 4 Vietnam vets, old friends who reunite in the present day, return to Vietnam to recover the body of their fallen CO, and as it happens, also recover a case of gold that they found back in the day and stashed to go back and get later. I've got a clip for you.
Gentlemen, welcome back to Vietnam.
Look what I found.
You're the man in all his glory.
Who was that guy? That brother was the best damn soldier that ever lived.
See, that sounds like a fun movie, and that's on Netflix as well, isn't it? So anyone who's got that can watch that this weekend.
Absolutely. That's on from today. That is, say, Spike Lee's first film for Netflix. Netflix is garnering in the big filmmakers the last few years. You look at the likes of Martin Scorsese, Alfonso Cuarón, and, for better or worse, Michael Bay. Spike Lee has now joined that roster, and I'm happy to say he absolutely delivers. This is absolutely vintage Lee. I don't think it's one of his better ones. It is a groundbreaking film, and it is a brilliant film, and yet Spike Lee is so good that this doesn't count as one of his better films.
Wow.
It's not as funny as BlacKkKlansman. It's not got the momentum of Inside Man. It's a little overlong, and it is a bit bum-numbing, but it's so good that you are numbing that bum for a damn good reason. Great performance from Delroy Lindo, terrific support from Clark Peters, Paul Walter Hauser is in there, stylishly directed, very funny, a great expanded cameo really for Chadwick Boseman. Do check this out. It is absolutely worth seeing, and given certain political events in the world right now, very poignant in its messages as well.
I will be putting that on my list to watch over the weekend. Finally, we've got about a minute and a half. The King of Staten Island.
Feature film launchpad, effectively, for Saturday Night Live comedian Pete Davidson. Semi-autobiographical. It is co-written by Davidson with Judd Apatow, who's directing here. Judd Apatow is, the kingmaker. He's the guy that gave us Seth Rogen, who gave us Kumail, who gave us Kristen Wiig and Amy Schumer. This is him doing the same for Pete Davidson. He is a young man, suffers from Crohn's disease, certain mental afflictions as well, all having to do with the trauma of his father having died on the job as a fireman years earlier. And when his sister goes off to college, he finds that he has to suddenly get his life together. And I've got a clip for you of him being told exactly that.
Okay, you don't get that crazy your whole life just because Dad died, okay? At least you got to know him.
Well, you're lucky you didn't get to know him, okay? Because that's why you're almost normal. If you got to know him, you would have known that he was, like, the coolest guy ever. And that would have ruined the rest of your life.
Okay, but what are you gonna do? Are you gonna get a job, or are you gonna leave the house?
I don't know. I'm gonna open that tattoo restaurant.
No, for real.
I am being real. It's never been done before. I looked it up. I Googled it. It's never been done, not even as a joke.
Because no one wants to go to a restaurant and watch people get tattooed while they eat. It's gross.
It's the best idea ever. Ruby Tattoosdays, where everyone's welcome. Chicken and tattoos.
See, I like the sound of that one, Van, as well. I mean, that sounds very funny.
It is very funny. Again, a bit overlong, but that tends to be Judd Apatow's style. His films always do cross the 2-hour mark. Yeah. This one does feel like it's floundering in the second act, does get its act together in the third act, and becomes an incredibly fun male bonding experience between Pete Davidson and Bill Burr. Great appearance in there as well from Bel Powley and Steve Buscemi, who I'm always happy to see in any comedy. He's a very funny man. Very heartfelt, very touching, a really great movie. Can't recommend this highly enough, and he's available to buy on digital from today.
So one of those three movies, if we can only watch one over the weekend, because that's all we have time for, which one would you choose?
I would go for Da 5 Bloods because of its relevance right now. I would say if you're looking for something a bit more sedate, though, something a bit more chill, The King of Staten Island is unmissable.
Did you say The 5 Bloods then, rather than Da 5 Bloods?
Perish the thought. No, I would always say Da 5 Bloods, in the same way that you are Da Man.
I was going to say, Van Connor's going posh. Thank you, Van. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy your movies. I'm sure there's plenty more to watch, and we'll catch up with you next week, all right?
Till the next time, good sir.
Thank